bringing in the balance. What's up, everyone? We're back and we've got a full moon in Libra we must discuss. And depending on your time zone, this full moon is going to be happening either on April 5th or April 6th. It's going to be happening at 16 degrees Libra in 7 minutes. Let's go ahead and take a look at the chart. Okay, so we have a full moon in Libra. The moon up here at 16 degrees and 7 minutes of Libra is exactly opposite the sun at 16 degrees Aries in 7 minutes. So full moons bring balance, they bring fullness, they bring a polarity. So we've been spending some time in peak Aries energy because it's not just the sun that's been rolling through Aries. We've had several planetary alignments in Aries that have been adding a lot of juice and fire to this area of our life. Aries energy makes us feel brave. It makes us feel impulsive in the moment. Like, why wait? Act now. So on one side of the spectrum, we could look at that as impulsiveness, and maybe that serves you, maybe it hinders you. I don't know. But the flip of that is, like the just do it. Like, why wait? Why wait for a better time than now? Which is Aries, which helps us to live fully and vibrantly in the moment. So Libra brings sort of the balance of that, because if we're like sort of living in this heart, this passionate space of acting on what we feel, we may not be considering the ripple effects necessarily as much. So Libra energy says, hey, remember the people in your life. Hey, remember who your actions sort of impact. Hey, remember this thing called teamwork. Remember that you don't have to do everything right now. Like Aries is this sort of like now energy. It's this very like nowness is what I would call it. So Libra is sort of more like the strategic air sign. I like to think of it like it's not just a scale, it's a chess piece. It's like, how can I, like I can eventually do that thing, but maybe I don't have to do it right this second. Why don't I plan it out a little bit and be a little bit more thoughtful about it? So there is that sort of counterbalance. So you want to take a look and see how that's coming up. Other Libra themes that could be coming up are our relationships, like creating harmony and balance in relationships, merrymaking in relationships. A lot of times full moons in the sign of Libra are very social. So you may feel like you have a lot of plans on this weekend coming off of the full moon. Or hey, maybe during the week too, if you are into happy hour and that sort of thing. The other thing to note here is, it's a beautification moon. You might be in the mood to do some painting or do some spring cleaning, or get out in the yard and put some flowers out there if you're able to. So beautification may also be an important theme that you're working with in your personal life. Now, mundane astrology front, okay? This lunation kicks off eclipse season, and things are already heating up a little bit, at least from my perspective. Things seem to be heating up. I've cast this chart for Washington, D.C. You're welcome to cast this chart for your nation's capital or where you live if you're looking at this new moon or this full moon rather, on like a more personal level. But the other Libra topic is politics. We think about the scales of justice. We think about balance and fairness and the democratic process in its ideal form. So there may be certain judgments or legislature which is coming up and feeling very important around this full moon. Now we are moving into eclipse season. The following lunation after this, which is going to be on the 20th of April, is going to be a solar eclipse. So this is where we start to feel things heat up a little bit. So we're going to start to see things reach more of a crescendo and intensify in like weird and sort of twisted ways on the world stage. Eclipse seasons tend to quicken the pace. We see a lot of movement in terms of just the puzzle pieces being rearranged during eclipse season. So we're gonna start to see that coming off of this full moon. And with Jupiter here, Jupiter is in the mix. The sun is sort of traveling closely with Jupiter from here on out, like pretty much the rest of this month, because by the time we get to that eclipse at 29 degrees Aries, the sun is still pretty close to Jupiter. So Jupiter, themes of beliefs are going to be really big. We'll continue to talk more about this in our eclipse video, but this is already part of this lunation here. And we have Chiron here, wounds, healing, and Jupiter, like the way that beliefs can empower us and heal us, and also the way beliefs can oppress and wound us, it goes both ways. Something I've been talking a lot about with Jupiter in Aries, and I forecasted this at the beginning, is that, people are going to be a little bit more willing to go rogue with their beliefs. And we've seen things become even more polarized. We've seen people, and we've seen people switch parties a lot too this year as well. There's been like several politicians I've seen in the headlines which have switched political parties. And because Aries is more of like individualistic, it has less allegiance to the group necessarily. But yeah, this is a Libra full moon. So there are going to be themes of allegiance here and the beliefs that unite us, Jupiter and Aries. Some astrologers might look at this and say Jupiter is combust the sun. I don't view it that way. I see Jupiter as having triplicity in the sign of Aries. So it still very much has power. It's still very much protected from the sun. So the beliefs and are going to continue to sort of like charge and hype people up. People are going to be getting high on that basically. And the sun is sort of working with that Jupiter to intensify it, especially on this lunation. So that's what we're seeing at this stage. That's going to switch up a little bit once we get into the eclipse. But yes, what we believe and how that relates to other people, how that affects other people, how it impacts other people, how it contributes to the harmony or disharmony of a group or of the whole. These are going to be things that we are working with here at this time. So that's a little bit about the full moon in Libra. Look to see where Libra is in your chart and see what this full moon is bringing to light for you. And I hope it's juicy. I hope it's beautiful. And I wish you all the Jupiterian goodness that comes with that and the Libra beauty that comes with that. And yeah, I hope it's awesome for you, and I'll catch you next time. Bye. Thanks for tuning in with me today. For more astrology in your world, you can connect with me on all platforms at Astro Catherine. You can also book your reading with me at catherineurban.com. And hey, you may also want to join Cauldron, my monthly astrology meetup.